Alright guys, this is a long play review for Pac-Land on the good old Amstrad CPC, and this is a conversion of the arcade machine from Namco and Midway, released way back in 1984, and was based on the Pac-Land cartoon series that sort of came out at the time. It was relatively short-lived though. And this conversion came out in 1989, sort of 5 years later really, and really kind of games have progressed quite a bit since then. I mean, Pac-Land was probably one of the original scrolling platforming games with full colour graphics. So 5 years later comes the Amstrad CPC version. You see they've just entered 20 credits, but that's absolutely pointless because there's no continues in the game. But anyway, let's start this up. Level 1. 4 rounds per trip. And as you can see, we've got lovely, nice, colourful graphics, really lovely music, and nice sprites, and decent sound effects as well. But yeah, I mean, you've already seen we've got flip screen scrolling on the go here, guys, which is this game's major downfall. Obviously, the arcade original scrolled properly. And the problem with this flip screen scrolling is you don't know if an enemy's waiting to appear on the other side of the screen, or if like one of those planes have dropped one of its bombs already and it's just off the edge there, it can still kill you if you run into it. Oh yeah, okay, you got power pills like the original Pac Man game, and you're supposed to be able to chase ghosts off the screen, but oh well, as soon as you move back a screen they've disappeared. Oh yeah, and of course on the arcade original, if you pushed against a fire hydrant on one of these levels, you gained a sort of special helmet and powers. That's missing on this game. There's also a secret warp on the next level in the arcade, or the next round. That's completely missing. But probably for good reason, because there's only 12 levels in this game basically. There's 3 trips with 4 rounds each. Also missing is the fairyland sort of cutscene, and that's the end of the first round there. Jump just at the right moment, and if you're at the top of your jump there, you get extra bonus points. So right, round 2. Now there's some missing enemies in this, well, from now on really. In the arcade original, there's sort of alien ghosts on flying saucers bobbing up and down, causing you trouble. But no, there's only 3 enemies in the game, which is the plane you see there, the ghost chasing you, which is either Blinky or Clyde or whatever, and that annoying red car. It's also worth noting as well that you can't jump on the car or jump on the planes like you can do in the arcade original. Now I think in the arcade original it's one of these 2 tree stumps that you can push, and it warps you to about like sort of 4 levels onwards. Anyway, first couple of rounds are relatively easy, a nice introduction to the game. It does get really quite tough later on. And really, it's not tough because of, you know, the enemies and timing your jumps. It's more, it becomes tough because of the flip screen scrolling. You don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. And also the controls. Pac-Man's got this weird inertia about him. He's almost constantly moving all the time. So you can't really, it's really tough to bring him to a stop. There's also inertia sort of affects your jumps as well. And certainly these levels here with the rolling logs floating up and down, it can be really quite troublesome. This round's not too bad, but later rounds based on this, you might have a bit of trouble with. And as I said, there's 4 rounds per trip. They sort of look fairly similar each time, apart from a strange round in a sort of a town and city. Anyway, we'll come on to that later. Ah, convenient power pill there. Nice. And we can eat the ghosts. Ah, the dreaded springboard jump. Right, what I'm doing is waggling my joystick left and right. And you've got to start the waggling at just the right moment of your jump as well, off the springboard. Ah, those sections are a pain in the arse. Yay, and basically we've rescued the fairy and taken it back to Fairyland. Now normally there should be a sort of cutscene of Fairyland where the big fairy gives Pac Man some special jumping boots. But so anyway, you've got the boots anyway, they're just not bothered changing the sprite. But you can now jump sort of mid-air, like so. Well, you'll see me doing it shortly. I'm not using it. Oh, there we go. Because it's easier to stick at the bottom of the screen most of the time because the plane's flying above you. Might end up jumping into a plane. There's usually one that used to appear there, actually, usually. Back to the log section. We're sort of going back Pac Man's home to his wife and kids, Mrs. Pac Man and Junior Pac Man or whatever. And the whole premise of this game is basically you're taking a ferry back to Fairyland. The ferry's supposed to be under your hat. Once you reach Fairyland, the ferry's rescued, and then you just got to return home with your magic boots. And we're nearly there now anyway. Notice how the music's changed actually, sort of slightly different, funkier rendition of the main theme. And there's also nice little cutscene music, and I think there's another couple of tunes in the game as well that appear at certain points. I have to say the music and sound effects is really good. And I really love the bold, colourful graphics. They've used the palette there really well, even if it's rather sort of simple, really. But it is faithful to the arcade coin-op. I have to give it that. Oh yeah, jump at the windows to pick up cherries for bonus points. There's no mega bonus at the end of a level if you collect all the cherries. Well, anyway, as I was saying, guys, there's only 3 trips in this game, consisting of 4 rounds each. Despite the instructions telling you there's 4 of them, which is a lot less than the arcade original. Blimey, I can't remember how many trips there are now. I did have a note of this. Let me just try and find out. I can't remember now. I think there's about, I remember correctly, there's about sort of 6 or 7 trips in the arcade original. It's almost like nearly 40 levels, I think. I may be wrong. Anyway, this is significantly less in the Amstrad version. Only 12 levels. So damn springboard sections. Made even more annoying if a plane's flying across and drops a bomb on you at the wrong moment. But you've got to start waggling about now. So at the peak of your jump, that's when you need to start waggling. Oop, me messed up there. Yeah, I'm still waggling away here. This is quite a nightmare one to do with the length of the river you've got to jump. But we've done it, and we're about halfway through the game now. button out. That's maximum bonus points there, 7650. Timing your jump right at the end. Now the first stranger level in the game. Into sort of a town or castle or something. And notice the change in music. Very nice. Now this one's awkward because you don't know if there's drops waiting for you off the edge of the screen there. But anyway, this was released by Grandslam in 1989, who handled the home computer port conversions. But it was actually farmed out to Quicksilva to do. Quicksilva, quite a well-known software company in the early to mid 80s. They, of course, one of their early releases was Anti-Attack on the Specky, or the ZX. Very famous game. They later went on to do, if I remember correctly, I remember the Glider Rider. Did the elevator action conversion and stuff. And I remember, I think they had Steve Pickford working for them for a while, as well as David Whittaker doing a lot of the sound and music for the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a David Whittaker doing the music here. Oh, music's changed again. Okay, so be very carefully to jump on that rock in the middle there. It's worth it picking the power pill. Ooh, that was close. You can have a lot of those close encounters and really stupid deaths as things appear just on the edge of the screen as you're about to move off. But I really like the overall presentation of this game. Graphics and music and sound effects and colours used and sprites and stuff, all really good stuff. This would have been a half decent platformer if it wasn't for that stupid flip screen scrolling. Hey, okay, and that's the end of trip number 2, and on to the final trip. Oh, there's Mrs. Pac Man, of course, waiting for you. I find it really odd that Pac Man's got a really long pointy nose actually. I guess that's what was in the cartoon Pac Man series that this was based on anyway. God, more springboard sections. That always used to defeat me as a kid. I did have this game. I think I bought it with my pocket money when I was growing up, and I can never get past these damn springboard sections. At least the first one that appears on round 3, I think it was. By that point, it only had a life or 2 left, and I can never get the timing right because you've got to start waggling out right at the top of your jump there. Oh, what's happened there? Bit of a bug. Interesting. Thankfully the game hasn't crashed. There's a couple of music bugs in the game. Like here, the main theme's just started up, even though we just moved on to the end of the level. It should have it should be something different. The music's still playing. Ooh, nasty. Bit awkward there. Well, round 10. Only a couple more to go after this. So yeah, I've already mentioned I really like how the game's been presented. I mean, it's relatively faithful to the coin-op. It's just that the really awkward sort of controls and inertia sort of makes things really difficult. And flip screen scrolling just kills it for me. This would have been a nice little simple fun platform if it wasn't for that, really. But you know, with that stupid flip screen and not knowing if there's an enemy waiting just about to come on the screen as you're about to move off and it kills you, just ruins all the fun out for me, just saps it all away. But I'm going to be slightly generous in giving this a score. I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Oh, again it's a bit of a bug there with the music. I don't know how I managed to jump that high either there as well. Oh well, got a massive bonus. So yeah, 7 out of 10 guys. We're on the second to last level, and this one's a bit of a swine with getting your timing right. A couple of screens on, there's smaller platforms you need to jump on that are floating up and down. That'll certainly make things tough. Is it on the next screen? Ah, here we go. These floating rocks. And if you miss jumping on that first rock, then you pretty much stuck to the ghost there will catch up and kill you. But thankfully, even though it looks like I missed the edge of it there, it still allowed me to jump. And it's important you get that power pill there because it will allow you to sort of blast through the next few sections rather quickly. By taking blind leaps off the edge of the screen, you've got enough height to basically land on one of the two rolling log platforms. And that's pretty much it for this level. Now if you just take it easy on the trip back, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There we go. That's the last fairy rescued. We've just got to get home to our wife and kids now. And, you know, I'll warn you now, there's no sort of end game completion screen sequence or even any kind of text. The game just loops around to the first trip again and carries on. And I think with the same difficulty as well, really. So, that's pretty disappointing. But anyway, let's get through this final round. I've not taken a look at the Spectrum or Commodore 64 versions, to be honest with you, to know how they compare. I think I've seen the Spectrum version once. I think it was basically pretty similar to the Amstrad version in that it had flip screen scrolling. I may be wrong. Obviously, it's in you know, 2 or 3 colours or whatever. Ooh, that was lucky there. Haven't seen the Commodore 64 version at all. I'd imagine it probably scrolls. And if it doesn't, and it's the Commodore 64 version, then that's pretty dreadful stuff. But anyway, 7 out of 10, and that's my final score for this. And yay, we've done it. That's it. That's the game completed. And we're back to trip 1 again. And yeah, it's identical to the first level. So a bit of a shame that. Everything else presentation wise has been fantastic. Yeah, it's the same old stuff. So yeah, so not bad at all. 7 out of 10. And what we'll do is just sort of kill myself and just show you the game over sequence and then the high score table. And note you can't jump on top of cars. There you go. Anyway, game over. Ooh, different music for the high score table there. That's nice. But it doesn't continue when I enter my name. Oh well. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and well, see you next time. Cheers, bye.